In the quiet towns of southwestern Ontario, where elderly residents trusted the hands that cared for them, a registered nurse walked the night shift halls undetected for almost a decade. This is HerCrime. Elizabeth Wettlaufer was born Elizabeth Tracy May Parker in June 1967 in Ontario, Canada. She trained as a registered nurse and by all outward appearances was another caregiver on night shifts in long-term care. But behind the uniform was someone capable of something almost impossible to comprehend. In June 2007, Wettlaufer began working at Carasant Care nursing home in Woodstock, Ontario. Within months, the night shift RN responsible for medications started killing patients with insulin. She moved quietly, unseen in the hours when most were asleep. Between June and December 2007, she injected two elderly sisters, Clotilde Adriano and Albina de Medeiros, with insulin. Both later died, their deaths not tied to her at the time. These assaults were classified as aggravated assault. They were not yet called murder, but they were the beginning. In August 2007, Elizabeth Wettlaufer used insulin to kill James Silcox, age 84, her first confirmed murder victim. In her police interview, she called him the first one that died because of what she did. A long life ended, and no one suspected a thing. That same year, Wettlaufer killed Maurice Granat, also 84. Insulin overdoses can cause coma or death and are notoriously difficult to detect. Families believed their loved ones passed naturally. Granat's family had no reason to think otherwise. By 2011, 3 more residents at Carasant Care were dead: Gladys Millard, 87, Helen Matheson, 95, and Mary Zurawinski, 96. 3 women, 3 families grieving what they believed were natural deaths. 3 more secrets carried down quiet hallways. In 2013, Helen Young, age 90, became Wettlaufer's 6th confirmed victim. The pattern was the same: night shift, insulin, vulnerability, and a system with no reason to doubt a trusted nurse. In her taped confession, Wettlaufer said she believed God wanted to use her. Before killing, she felt what she called a red surge, afterward, a laughing feeling. This was not panic or accident repeated. It was something far colder. In March 2014, she murdered Maureen Pickering, 79, at Carasant Care. Days later, Wettlaufer was fired, not for murder, but for an unrelated medication mix-up treated as an accident. A serial killer walked out the front door for the wrong reason. Within a month, Wettlaufer was hired at Meadow Park in London, Ontario. Her final murder victim was Arpad Horvath, 75, a married father of 2, killed in August 2014. A life built, family, business, community, ended with a syringe in a quiet room. Her violence did not end with 8 murders. She was charged with attempted murder for attacks on Michael Priddle and Wayne Hedges between 2008 and 2009, and on Sandra Towler in 2015 and Beverly Bertram in 2016. Towler and Bertram survived to tell what it felt like to be her target and live. There were chances to stop her. She confessed to a pastor who prayed over her and warned her not to do it again. She confessed to a Narcotics Anonymous sponsor and a former boyfriend, both dismissed. Person after person heard pieces of the truth. No one connected the dots. In September 2016, she checked into a Toronto mental health facility to speak openly, seek help, and prepare to report herself to police and the College of Nurses. On October 5, 2016, she sat for a 2.5-hour videotaped interview and confessed to everything. Following verification of victim records from Carasant Care and Woodland Villa, police arrested and charged her on October 25, 2016, with 8 counts of first-degree murder. A trusted nurse. 8 confirmed deaths. A decade of silence broken by her own voice. Wettlaufer pleaded guilty to all charges. Justice Bruce Thomas sentenced her to 8 concurrent life sentences, saying she was far from an angel of mercy, rather a shadow of death passing over victims. He noted their painful, contorting deaths and acknowledged her confession showed some remorse, and without it, she may never have been caught. Loved ones read victim impact statements. Families who had buried parents and grandparents believing they died peacefully now sat in court and heard the truth. Grief reopened. Trust shattered again. The case triggered a sweeping public inquiry into Ontario's long-term care system, asking how a single nurse could kill 8 people across 2 facilities over nearly a decade without detection. It searched for cracks in the system, what should have been seen and was not. Elizabeth Wettlaufer will be eligible for parole in 2041. She remains incarcerated in Canada, one of the deadliest serial killers in the nation's history, hidden for years behind a nurse's uniform and a quiet night shift. James Silcox, he was 84. Maurice Granat, he was 84. Gladys Millard, she was 87. Helen Matheson, she was 95. Mary Zurawinski, she was 96. Helen Young, she was 90. Maureen Pickering, she was 79. Arpet Horvath, he was 75. The question that haunts this case is not only what she did, but how long the people meant to protect the most vulnerable never saw it coming.